When it comes to promoting gender equality in the workplace, how do you do it by ensuring that everybody is on board, be they men or women? Tinna Nielsen is a Danish anthropologist who's now working as a diversity specialist, having established a non-for-profit organisation called Move the Elephant for Inclusiveness. It aims to create cultural and behavioural change within organisations. She's in Paris to attend the Jump EU Forum and joins us here in the studio today. Tinna, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
How do you exactly change deeply ingrained cultural biases?
It's very difficult. So I actually don't aim to change them. I aim to reduce the impact that unconscious bias have in our leadership and decision making and the way we collaborate. And that requires that you design interventions. It's not so much about convincing people and giving them awareness of their biases, because that can be too hard for people to do something with. But you can actually design interventions or exercises.
So give us some examples of how you actually do that.
Yeah, so I don't come in and convince people. I come in and show them their biases in a particular situation. So that I use an exercise with pictures, because we know when people meet people or collaborate with people, we always rate them fast on, are they trustworthy, or do I like them, do I feel safe with them, and on competency and ability. And then I try to show them this instead of talk about it. So I give them pictures. That could be a serial killer that I know fits the Mr. Corporate masculinity norm, or it can be my husband, whom I know triggers association and biases about terrorists or criminals. It is a very successful woman in the banking sector, and she's an elderly woman, which triggers pity. And a very beautiful young woman, and sometimes an obese person, or so I use different pictures that I know triggers some particular stereotypes.
So what are their responses when they see those photos?
The responses are, I cannot believe this. They're shocked. It's an eye-opening experience for them to see the bias, especially when I tell them that the one they rated the lowest on competency and warmth is my husband, and I've been married to him for 15 years, and he is a very warm and competent guy. And that just really, it's kind of like a push of the unconscious mind instead of talking to the rational mind. So kind of see that we have two systems in the brain.
But whenever you're trying to change things, there's always pushback. So how do you respond to that?
I respond in the way I say there is no resistance to change, really. It's about not having motivated the part of the brain that's doing the behavior. So it can also be that you redesign the processes and mitigate the biases as a part of, say, a recruitment process. So you anonymize the candidates. You simply help the unconscious mind not to be controlled by the biases, but be more objective in the evaluation. Just the fact that you can't see a picture, like with the picture exercise, you can't see it, then you rate people more on their skills.
And the name of your organisation is Move the Elephant.
Yes.
What does it mean?
It's because I've always been searching for other ways to do this than having to convince people, having to get people to get it. So I was looking for different ways of doing this, and I came across this brain analogy about the two brain systems being like an elephant and its rider. And the rider on top of the elephant is the rational mind. So you can present the business case, and I was like, I get it. Yeah, we want to be inclusive. We want diversity. But if the unconscious mind, which is the 6-ton heavy elephant, is not motivated to change, there's no way it's going to happen. So how can you move the elephant? And when I found the techniques to this, and I merged my techniques with another internal practitioner, Lisa Kapinski, and we found that these design principles actually was working well. So I founded my nonprofit with that name, because that was really what fundamentally changed the way I work with this, how to reduce biases.
Diversity and inclusiveness are very much buzzwords in the corporate sector at the moment, but part of the process does unfortunately seem to result in men feeling that they're being sidelined. So how do you deal with that?
I deal with it in the sense I don't use the buzzwords, because unfortunately diversity triggers some wrong associations in the sense we're here to help minorities or women, and inclusion is about me losing my privileges. So I don't use those terms, and it's really about being like an undercover agent, integrating this in the already existing processes. So we're designing a strategy. make sure that how we collaborate in that team and make the decisions, that everybody's voice is being leveraged. Because without saying we have to be inclusive of diversity, that's one of the tricks. Is this is a good recruitment process. This will ensure we get the best qualified candidate, not an inclusive, diverse recruitment process. We don't put the labels on. And it's very much about making sure that everybody has those eye-openers without labeling it. I'm now doing unconscious bias awareness training on you, so you're here to be fixed. We don't use those buzzwords, and we see that this works much better.
What do organisations stand to gain if they implement these practices?
That people are highly engaged, that they will see people release potential they didn't even know they had themselves, that we can make better decisions, that we can future-proof our organizations, that we are agile. And everybody wants high performance. They want agility. They want to be ready for this future. Requires that we use different voices and different perspectives on the challenges.
Tinna Nielsen, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.